The Saskatchewan Roughriders are 3.5-point home favorites to the Calgary Stampeders on Saturday night in what will be the final game of the CFL regular season. The Riders could clinch first place in the West Division with a win, provided the Blue Bombers lose to the Montreal Alouettes earlier this same day, while the Stampeders have nothing to play for after being eliminated from playoff contention weeks ago. Former NFL quarterback PJ Walker will not play for the Stampeders, as it seems possible Matthew Schultz, Jake Mayer, and possibly even Logan Bonner could each see time under center in Cowtown. Will the Riders get the win at Mosaic, and can they cover this moderate spread?
I'm a little surprised by the spread being as tight as it is, based on the fact that these two teams are just in different stratospheres right now. But I think this is the odds makers compensating a little bit for the potential of an emotional letdown here for the Riders. They're not going to know for certain that this game is worth playing until shortly before kickoff. And if the Winnipeg Blue Bombers win, it goes from being the most important game of the season for Saskatchewan to not mattering at all instantaneously. And I think there's a little bit of risk that you take your eye off the ball in that circumstance, that you get sort of that blow to the gut and you're not able to catch your breath and you let an easy one slip. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case for a Corey Mace-led team. I think they are mentally tough enough. They've been through enough this season that they'll be able to keep their focus regardless what happens earlier in the day. And I think the Calgary Stampeders are just that bad, right? This is a team that has nothing going for them right now, with the exception of maybe Reggie Beggleton, who has had a really good season at receiver. And boy, oh boy, it looks like he's trying out there when maybe nobody else is. So I still am going to take the Saskatchewan Roughriders to cover this spread. I think they've played fantastic football lately. They've got a great defense. And Trevor Harris has been playing as good as any quarterback in the CFL down the stretch. That is far more than you can say for any of the people that might take snaps for the Stamps.
Yeah, if Winnipeg loses to Montreal, I would happily take Saskatchewan minus 15 in this game. I don't think it's going to be remotely close if the Riders have something to play for. I agree with you, JC, that the circumstance changes a little bit if, in fact, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers beat the Montreal Alouettes earlier that day, locking Saskatchewan into second place in the process. The issue, though, is that there's only going to be 1 hour between the end of the Winnipeg-Montreal game and the start of the Saskatchewan game here. And if you're the Riders, that probably gives you enough time to maybe you scratch Trevor Harris late. But by and large, your roster will be set, your game plan will be set, and you're going to be playing. If not all, you're going to be playing the vast majority of your starters. So I like the Saskatchewan Roughriders to win this game. I don't think that 3.5 points is too much to be afraid of. Let's not forget the last time these two clubs met, Jake Mayer played very well against the tough Riders defense. And the game was in Calgary, and they still lost by 8 points, right? Raquel Armstead went for over 200 yards. The Stampeders have by far and away the CFL's worst run defense. I don't care who is starting for the Riders, if it's AJ Ouellette on a pitch count, whether it's Frankie Hickson, whether Raquel Armstead comes back from the shoulder injury that has plagued him as of late. I am happy to predict that the Riders will be able to run the football in this game. Mosaic should be humming, especially again if the Bombers lose earlier that same day, giving the Riders a chance to finish first. So I'm happy to take the Riders here to win and cover in what will be the final game of the 2024 CFL regular season.